can go ahead and jump into another one. So we don't have to continue to wait all the time to go to different FMOs. When I talk to agents a lot, one of the biggest things I hear is, well, I wanted to do this also, and I have appointments at several different FMOs. So I'm going to go through the process real quick on how that works with North America. Then I'm going to jump into some basics of life insurance, share a couple links, because I think sometimes we take for granted that agents, regardless of what's division that we're going to be in, know what's going on. And sometimes the most basic things are helpful. And then once we get to that part, we can go ahead and move on to more in-depth, interesting things. So with North American, I do individual interviews, and people that, if you make an appointment on my Calendly, we could do a one-on-one. And if we are on the same page as wanting to move forward, and this is how it works with most of the other divisions too, then it's pretty simple after that. We got to make sure you're licensed with Life Health, and then you get in touch with Todd Ullman and his recruiting, his recruiters, and also his contracting department at North American, our main office, which is in Frisco, Texas. At the end of this call, I'm going to share my contact information. So if you're not currently appointed or contracted with North American, then we can start that process if it's something you want to do. And then the next step would be to get appointed by individual contracts. Now, of course, different divisions work different ways. With life, we try to make it simple at first. We're really trying to concentrate on simplified issue life insurance, which I'm going to go over what that is. And then we only concentrate on 3 or 4 carriers to start with, and then we add more on, because we don't want to overwhelm agents with trying to learn so many carriers or so many different things. And that's another reason I emphasize that there's many divisions with North American, but you want to concentrate on getting good at one at a time, whether it's life, Medicare, whatever the case may be. And then one can cross in with the other one. The two I really enjoy doing the most, life insurance, Medicare. They work hand in hand. Life insurance is the only one of our groups that, regardless of what age you're at, it can work with every other group. Every other group can't say that, so that's good. So life insurance is something that, of course, we know everyone needs. So I am going to share a couple links in the chat box. I'm going to go over some definitions. I'm going to try to share the link. I hope I can. I think we're trying to clear up these tech issues, and I think we can. So anyway, life insurance, basic life insurance terms, I'm just going to go over a few of those. And then life insurance in general. If you believe in life insurance and you know what the basic definition is, then you can go ahead and do your elevator pitch to anyone, which I'll share an idea of what I do. But you have to believe in life insurance. What I mean by that is you have to believe it's necessary. A lot of the trainings I'm on for not just different calls with this company, but other calls that I've been on, when they talk about different types of products and services and stacking, a lot of times I never see life insurance as part of the stack. Well, I think it's an essential part of everybody's financial plan, whether it's over or under 65. It's inevitable. We're all going to pass away one day, whether that's, in the near future or whether it's decades from now. It doesn't matter. Life insurance is the only product we have we know 100% sure is going to be used one day, and it can be used in different ways. So you got to understand the definition of life insurance. Life insurance is a contract between a policyholder and an insurance company. The policyholder agrees to pay premiums to the company, and in exchange, the company agrees to pay a certain amount to the policyholder's chosen beneficiaries, which is the most important part when you're selling life insurance. The person we're insuring, what we're doing is we're providing them peace of mind and a plan that if something were to happen unexpectedly or down the line, that their beneficiaries are taken care of for many reasons. If the insured wants the final expenses a certain way, the beneficiaries can set it up the way they want based on the life insurance proceeds that they get when the person passes away. If a person's got a house with a mortgage or a family or an income they need protected, or kids eventually going to go to college, or whatever the case may be, leaving a legacy to your church. Everybody's got a different reason for life insurance. And that's why it is so important that we talk about it with every single person. There's a lot of people out there that do not have any life insurance. There's a lot of people out there that have never been offered life insurance or really understand how it works. Do I need permanent? Do I need term insurance? Well, that's what we do. It's our job to educate people. It's our job to bring it up and to educate people. And sometimes when I talk to newer agents, they tell me, well, sometimes it's uncomfortable talking about life insurance or bringing it up even to start the conversation. Well, if you really believe in what life insurance is all about, then you'll bring it up every time, because just think of this scenario. You go to a client's house, you write them on 5 different policies, you never offer life insurance. Down the line, something happens. The wife of the spouse or whoever, the kids call and say, hey, you sent my dad, mom, whoever on all this insurance. How much life insurance? You say, oh, I didn't offer that. Well, we never want to be in that position. We want to at least always bring it up. All right. And then, of course, the beneficiary is the person who would receive the proceeds. I think another important one to talk about is what types of life insurance. Now, there's 2 basic types, and then there's quite a few bullet points under each. But there's term insurance and there's permanent insurance. And most of us think about permanent insurance as like a whole life. So let's start with term first. Term insurance is life insurance that covers you for a set amount of time, a set period of time, usually between anywhere from 1 to 30 years. It does not typically accumulate a cash value, unlike permanent insurance, whole life. If you have, for example, a 20-year term policy and you die in year 21, you'll get nothing. Term insurance is pure insurance, providing you coverage through the term for which you are paying premiums. That's what I said. That could be like to pay off a mortgage possibly, or to make sure your kids are taken care of. If you have young kids in the house, they're eventually going to go to college, which you plan to pay for. You have an income, even if you have dual income. My wife and I, of course, we have a dual income, but our lifestyle is based around our total income. If all of a sudden one of us was not there, whether it's most importantly unexpectedly, then that would be a big detriment to not only my wife but our young kids. So we want to make sure there's always a plan in place to offset that, and that's why bringing it up is so important. And then permanent life insurance is the other main type. You have term, you have permanent. Permanent life insurance is life insurance that will remain in force until you die or reach an age so advanced that it pays out the value of the policy. And that could be anywhere from 95 to 120 years old. Permanent insurance has a death benefit like term insurance, but it also builds cash value over time. So permanent insurance for a like value with term would be more expensive, first of all, because it's for the rest of your life, regardless of how long that is. So you know it doesn't run out, and it builds cash value. And that's a big deal, especially if you build cash value to the point maybe an emergency down the line or something like that may come up, and you need to borrow cash or something like that. And then probably the biggest type of permanent insurance is whole life. Whole life insurance is the most basic type of permanent life insurance. It's essentially a never-ending term policy with a cash value. The cash value grows in size and may earn a dividend occasionally if it is a participating whole life insurance. So that's probably a little more than we need to know. And but whole life insurance is something that lasts down the line. So, and then I'm going to jump right to final expense. Now, final expense is another type of life insurance. And I offer that to most of the seniors that I deal with. So I have a good book of business with Medicare. Then it's an easy way to cross-sell another policy that they're definitely going to need down the line And the important thing about final expenses, they can control however they want to spend it and how they want their final services taken care of and things like that. So final expense, it varies how old you can offer it and from what age to what age, from insurance company to insurance company. But the best definition for final expense is it's a permanent life insurance policy designed to cover immediate expenses related to the policyholder's death, such as cost of funeral or medical bills. Final expense life insurance policies are typically guarantee issue, can be, and they never expire. So that brings me to the next important one. I'm only going to go over just a few different terms today, because the guarantee issue is another one that's important. The guarantee issue is a policy that we have where if you're working with a person and let's say they have, unfortunately, their health isn't good enough for a level policy, which starts day one, or even a graded, which might cover you after a period of time, might cover you for a certain percentage of the face value year one, year two, year three, and then 100%. Guarantee issue is a policy where there's no health questions asked. So typically they go from 5 to 25,000. It is a whole life insurance policy, so they could pick whatever amount they want based on their age. Of course, that's going to, and male, female, gender, it's going to determine how much the monthly premium is. They lock that in. And typically the way that works is for the first 24 months. If the beneficiary were to pass away, if the insured were to pass away in the first 24 months, the beneficiary will get all the premiums plus 10%, starting 24 months, 1 day. After the 24 months, then they're covered 100% of the face value. Again, if you were to offer a person at 65, for instance, a final expense level and a final expense guarantee issue for the same face value, let's say it's $20,000, it'll be more for the guarantee issue because they're taking a lot more risk in that type of situation. So, in addition to that, talk a little bit more about the opportunity with North American. So once an agent comes on with North American, we'll do a lot of the things we just talked about. We'll teach them the basics of life insurance. If they already have experience with life insurance, of course, that's a plus. But if not, I suggest they get appointed probably by at least 3 or 4 carriers only to start. The ones I'm a big fan of, especially for simplified issue life insurance. Simplified issue life insurance is the type of insurance it's very, very beneficial for an agent right away because it creates quick cash flow. A lot of these other divisions, excellent policies, excellent products, excellent services, but a lot of the times the commission is as earned and it's split up over 12 months. With the life division, you can get it that way if you want, or you can get up to a 6 months advance, street level commission that could be 90, 95, 100%, which is a good deal. With Mutual of Omaha, if you sell a final expense, for instance, let's say, do easy math, it's $100 a month, $1,200 of annualized premium per year. You get 6 months advance on that. At 100%, you're looking at $600 in your checking account within probably 48 hours, most cases. And then in months 7 through 12, you get the rest of your premiums as earned per month. And the thing I like about that is when you start writing several of those, they start to overlap and it really starts to add up over a period of time. So when I talk to agents that are new in the insurance industry, or they have another book of business, whether it's property and casualty, whether it's Medicare, whether it's health insurance, doesn't matter. That's your prospect pool right away. Because a lot of agents are concerned about how do I create leads? Well, we help with all of that, with marketing, suggestions, what's worked for us, leads in some cases. But the biggest thing is if you have a book of business, it's an easy transition. You have prospects to call and talk to right away. Then you have your elevator pitch. So if you're at a networking event or wherever, someone says, what do you do for a living? Well, I help people protect their future financially. What do you mean by that? And then you go into, well, I'm a life insurance specialist, and based on how a person wants to be protected, I can offer them many different types of solutions. And then eventually, if we get in, if an agent wants to get into a little more in-depth type policies, you got the index universal life, which I'm a fan of. That's good. I have one myself. They're good for self-employed people or anyone really. The younger, the better. It gives you a chance to build up a cash value over a period of time. So you always have the face value. And on top of that, down the line, if you want to take loans, you can actually take loans against the money you've built up, that's built up in the cash value, without having to pay taxes or anything on it, which is good. And then also living benefits. Living benefits means that whether it's critical, chronic, terminal condition, uh, that's something that these policies include, where if a person has one of those things that called living life insurance, you might be able to take part of the face value and use it now to help offset bills, to take that vacation you've always wanted, or whatever the case may be, lost income. So there's just a lot of different things with life insurance. And the basics is what I'm talking about today, that if we get a good harness on the product knowledge, it makes us more comfortable to offer it. And if obviously, if we're offering it to people, we can offer it to everybody, whether it's your circle of influence, your friends and family, uh, or you're in networking groups like I am. I'm in several networking groups, whether it's the Chamber, Rotary, BNI. I'm in a couple different vet groups. It's always something that you can talk about and bring up in conversation. Because, like I said, everyone needs life insurance from cradle to grave. We have some excellent, whether it's Gerber or whether it's Mutual Omaha Children's Life Insurance, where you can lock in a great with between $5,000 and $50,000 of whole life insurance at a child that's 17 and under, so they have coverage the rest of your life at that premium, blocked with life insurance and cash value. So just a lot of different opportunities. So at this point, I hope everything's starting to work, but if anybody has a question, you can unmute if anybody wants to put something in the chat box. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple different links to the chat box. And then that way, if you guys want to look up whether it's life insurance terminology, definitions, you want to look up how-tos, you want to look up whatever the case may be, it's important to know certain basics like that with the life insurance. So does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any thoughts they want to add on? And just to let you guys know also, I do these calls every 2 weeks, and then at 2 o'clock Central Time on Mondays. And then I have different guests. I have guests that talk about marketing, talk about other types of life insurance. I have carrier reps. I had a guest a couple months ago that talked about how to set goals properly and make them happen, path to success, all those type of things. So we don't just always talk about life insurance. We talk about other things, marketing, which I didn't really spend much time on that. You want to, if you're in a 1099 opportunity like North American offers, we have great back office support that does everything we need them to do. If we want to be licensed by a particular carrier, if we have issues with commission, if we need marketing advice, how to grow our business, we have experts at the Frisco office that can help us with all those things. Andy Daster, which is the president of our company, he's a pretty good role model as far as the production goes. I've worked for a couple different companies and FMOs, and over my many years, and never had a CEO, president of a company that does personal production. And he's one of the most effective, highest producing personal producers. And that's important because we have a president, CEO that talks the talk, but also walks the walk. And Andy's available also. You ever want to talk to him about the future with North American, the path to moving up and ahead and all that type thing. So, any questions from me? Anybody have anything that they would want to ask? Appreciate everybody's time today. And if anybody has any questions or comments, you can get in touch with me. You can give me a call on my cell phone, which is 214-952-6339. You can get in touch with me at kevin@na-insurance.com. And you can look up my website at Ristau, Ristau, ristauinsurance.com, my Facebook page, Ristau Insurance Services. And the reason I'm sharing that stuff is that's the type of marketing and branding I do. It's very cost effective, but it also gets your message out there, lets people know all the different services and all the different products and things like that that you sell. So I appreciate you guys being on the call today on a on a Monday afternoon. And I apologize for the technical issues we've been having. And if you want the links that for some reason it's not letting me add those in the chat box, get in touch with me, send me an email. Another email is Kevin, Kevin, at ristauinsurance.com, Kevin at ristauinsurance.com. I'll be more than happy to share the links to do any one-on-one training, to walk you through sites, quotes, electronic applications, marketing, anything at all. So everybody have a great day. Appreciate you being on the call today. And hopefully I'll see everybody on the next call next 2 weeks from today at 2 o'clock. Thank you.